today's video, I'll be comparing a fully maxed out Shiny Wubbo, Neptune's Crown, Easter Bunny, SpongeBob to a fully maxed out Shiny Wubbo, Neptune's Crown, Soaring Starfish to see exactly which limited unit is best in SpongeBob Tower Defense. As you can see here in my loadout, I have both units that are literally level 100 with Neptune's Crown, with 5-star and Shiny Wumbo. So make sure you watch this video to see which one makes it the furthest. And without any more waiting, let's just start with the brand new one, the Easter Bunny SpongeBob. So yeah, there it is equipped in. And for this video as well, we're also going to be bringing the maxed out Shiny Wumbo 5-star Krusty Krab, as well as some sort of starter unit, and a slowing unit like this Dream Gary right here. And we might as well also bring our Barnacle Boy, that way we can boost it with Jellyfish Jam as well. And now that we have our entire loadout fully equipped out, we can definitely hop into Game of Endless mode right now on Concentrate Endless Mode A. Here we go. And yeah, for both of these games, we'll make sure to fully auto-skip the entire time on 5 times game speed as well. And yeah, by week 1, we'll just place down an Elastic Waistband right here just to take care of all the early game stuff. That way we can fully max out 2 Krusty Krabs over this way. So just like that, there's both placed, and now we just need to max out both of them. So it seems like by week 6, we're going to be able to basically do exactly that. Nice. Now that we have that out of the way, it's definitely time to place max one of these Easter Bunny SpongeBobs, probably right around here. Well, actually, I'm curious to see how much range against win max out. So yeah, for now, let's just place it right here and max it out. Already in level 0 though, it's doing 10,450 damage every 0.4 seconds and has 39.6 range. But anyway, yeah, there's its level 1, and 2, 3, 4, and finally level 5. Yeah, when maxed it does 24,200 damage every 0.2 seconds and has 51.6 range on it. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that's actually pretty solid, and it seems like it can basically cover the entire map as well, which makes it even better. I think instead of placing it exactly right here, though, we're actually gonna have to place it a little bit better, probably over this way, just so it better reaches this corner and it better reaches this back part over here. Now that we have this one placed out, I think it's definitely time to place on the second one right next to it right here, and just instantly max out this one as well. Yeah, that way it can reach this corner, and it just unfortunately can't reach the very end corner over this way. Yeah, now that we have that out of the way, we can definitely boost them with a Barnacle Boy Patrick like that one right here. And we can place on some sort of slowing unit like this one right this way. And now that we officially have all that out of the way, we can definitely just sell our Elastic Waistband since we don't really need it anymore. But now we need to figure out exactly how much damage we're doing in a second. So yeah, if we pull out a calculator and do 24,200 divided by 0.2 seconds, we get exactly 121,000 damage just from one of these guys. Times that by 2 because that's how many we have placed. We're doing roughly 242,000 damage a second, which is so good. Yeah, it's honestly insane just from a limited unit, bro. It's not even like a secret unit or anything like that. Yeah, I definitely have very high hopes with these units for sure, bro. I hope to make it to at least wave 400, if not higher. Anyway, yeah, we already made it to wave 40, which is honestly kind of crazy considering I've only been talking for like 10 or 5 or like literally 2 minutes. But on wave 43, we actually have our first giant 30 ball that we'll be commentating over. So there it is right there. And yeah, this spot says 11,000 health, instantly down right over this way. Easy. I mean, now we're already through this waypoint 50, and actually now we have a first small dirty ball that we'll be commentating over right here. Now we're 2 ways to waypoint 50, and this one dies over this way, and now we're only 1 way from waypoint 50. And boom, now we made it to wave 50. On wave 53, we have our next medium-sized dirty ball down right here, and wait, an egg shard spawning. Wait, let's get it. Oh yeah, here it is right here. Nice. That's awesome. We actually just got an egg shard from Endless Mode. I'll take it. Anyway, on wave 57, now we're through to waypoint 60, and we actually have our next giant dirty ball spawning with 14,000 health this time dying right here. But now we're only 2 ways away from wave 60, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it there too. On wave 62, though, we had another small one dying over this way. And on wave 66, we have our next medium-sized one, but now we're through to waypoint 70, and this time the medium-sized one's dying right here. Now we're only 2 waves away from wave 70, though, and 1 wave away, and bang, nice. So now we made it to wave 70. On wave 71, we have another giant one, this time with almost 17,000 health, still dying right here. And on wave 76, we have our next smaller one, this time with 8,000 health, dying right here. Now we're already through to away from wave 80, though, and now we're only 2 waves away, and 1 wave away, and bang, just like that, now we made it to wave 80. Here comes our next medium-sized dirty ball with 10,000 health, finally making it right here now. And this time on wave 85, we have our first giant dirty ball to reach over 20,000 health, this time still dying right this way. Yeah, basically right here is as soon as the Easter Bunny SpongeBob is actually getting range of it, which is actually good Easter egg to know. That way we can figure out exactly when they start attacking, that way we can figure out exactly when these bosses will start dying. Anyway, yep, just like that, now we officially made it to wave 90 on the dot, meaning we're officially 10 waves away from wave 100, and there goes our last small dirty ball before we make it to wave 100. And on wave 95, we have our final medium-sized one before we make it to wave 102. Now we're officially 4 waves away from wave 100 though. And now we're only 3 waves away. And 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, here comes our final giant dirty bubble before we make it to wave 200, dying right here. And yep, just like that, now we made it to wave, not 200, my bad, wave 100, awesome. And yeah, basically still everything is instantly done. We literally have nothing to worry about for now, bro. We're gonna easily wipe out everything literally so easily. In fact, yeah, here comes our next small dirty bubble with 12,000 health, still instantly dying right here as soon as he gets in range of the Easter Bunny SpongeBob's. And on wave 109, we have our next small dirty or medium-sized dirty bubble with 15,000 health, also instantly dying as soon as he gets in range of the Bunny SpongeBob's yet again. Yeah, now we finally made it to wave 110 on the die, and our next giant one will spawn on wave 113, so I think I'll just see you guys then instead. Yeah, but here comes on wave 113, like I said, almost with 30,000 health, still dying right here. And on wave 118, we have another small dirty bubble with 14,000 health, still dying over this way too. Yeah, now we officially made it to wave 120 though. And on wave 123, we have a smaller or a medium-sized one with 18,000 health dying right here. And now we're 3 away from wave 130, and we have our next giant one to finally reach over 30,000 health, still dying over this way. But now we're 2 waves away from wave 130, 1 wave away, and bang, now we made it there too. Wave 132 has our next small dirty bubble with 17,000 health dying right here. As well as our next medium-sized one on wave 137, and we're 3 away from wave 140, dying right this way. Yep, now we're only 2 waves away from wave 140 though, 1 wave away, and bang, now we made it there as well. On wave 141 though, we have our next giant one with finally reaching over 40,000 health, still dying over this way again. And on wave 146, we have another smaller one finally reaching over 20,000 health, still dying right this way. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 150 though, and now we're only 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, just like that, now we made it to wave 150. On wave 151, we have our next medium-sized dirty bubble with 26,000 health, still dying right here. And on wave 155, we have our next giant one finally reaching over 50,000 health, still dying over this way. Well, actually, I think it made it out slightly further right here this time. Yeah, finally, the giant dirty bubble started to make slight progress at last, bro. It's about time. I mean, we're already through this wave 160 at this point, and now we're only 2 waves away, and 1 wave away, and bang, now we made it to wave 160. Here comes our next small dirty bubble almost with 25,000 health, still dying right this way though. And on wave 165, we have a medium-sized one reaching over 30,000 health, dying right here. Now we're officially through the wave from wave 170 already, and now we're only 2 waves away, and 1 wave away. And actually, I'm pretty sure on wave 169, yep, here comes the next medium giant one with over 60,000 health, this time dying right this way. So it's still dying where it died last time, but at least it's still making some progress, and now we made it to wave 170. On wave 174, here comes our next small dirty bubble, almost reaching 30,000 health, dying right this way. And on wave 179, we have a medium-sized one with almost 40,000 health, dying right a little bit further right here. Now we made it to wave 180 on the dot. And on wave 183, we have our next giant one reaching over 70,000 health, making it right here. Now we finally made it to wave 190 though, and we already defeated our final small dirty bubble that we were going to commentate over for the last time over this round. But either way, here comes our next medium-sized one with 46,000 health, dying right here. But now we're officially through this wave 200. And we have our next giant dirty bubble before we make it to wave 200 with 87,000 health, dying all the way over this way yet again. But now we're only 2 waves away from wave 200, 1 wave away, and bang, now we made it to wave 200. Yeah, now I think I'm definitely done officially commentating over all these small dirty bubbles that spawn in, since yeah, they don't really make it there anywhere every single time they do spawn in. Like look, this was literally just gonna die in the exact same spot that it always dies right here. Instead, we'll only commentate over every single time we're 3 away from wave 210, and every single time a medium-sized dirty bubble spawns in like that one right here, but now we're 2 away from wave 210, and 1 wave away, and bang, now we made it to wave 210, and actually on wave 211 is when our next giant dirty bubble spawns in. And this time it might actually have over 100,000 health. Yeah, it does, 104,000 to be exact. Wow. Yeah, this time it's actually going to make it all the way to Patrick's house right here for the first time ever. Wow, about time. It took 211 waves for it to make it from all the way right here, all the way to right here. I'll take it. Anyway, now we're officially doing wave 220 though, and now we're only 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, just like that, now we made it to wave 220. On wave 221 though, we have another medium-sized one with 66,000 health, dying right here. And on wave 225, we have our next giant one with 125,000 health, this time making it even further than last time, right over here. Yeah, wow, bro, it keeps making slight progress. That's a little bit concerning, and hopefully to make it to at least wave 400, but I'm not so sure if that's possible at this point. We still have a long ways to go, so yeah, we're still 2 waves away from wave 230, and 1 wave away, and bang, now we made it to wave 230 on the dot. On wave 235 though, we have our next medium-sized one with almost 80,000 health, making it right along Patrick's house right here. And on wave 239, we have our next giant one reaching over 150,000 health, making it slightly past Patrick's house this time, dying right here. And boom, now we made it to wave 240. On wave 249, we finally have our next medium-sized one dying right over this way this time, so finally that one's even making some progress, and now we made it to wave 250. And on wave 253, we have our next giant one reaching over 180,000 health this time, still dying all in between the Patrick's house and the intersection right here. This time it's more in the exact center though. Last time it died like a little bit past over this way, but this time we made it in the direct center right here. Anyway, now we're officially through the wave 260, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it there too. On wave 263 though, we have our next medium-sized one finally reaching over 100,000 health, making it right here this time. Yeah, now we're officially through the wave 270, and that next giant one finally reached over here this time. But now we're only 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally made it to wave 270. Finally by wave 277, making it through to wave 280, we have another medium one with 138,000 health this time, dying right in front of Patrick's house. But now we're 2 waves away from wave 280, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it there too. On wave 281 though, we have our next giant one reaching 260,000 health, this time dying all the way over this way. And nice, now we finally made it to wave 290. Yeah, for the last time ever, we'll definitely be commenting over this final medium-sized dirty ball with 165,000 health dying right here this time. And now we're officially 5 waves away from wave 300, and we have our next giant dirty ball reaching over 300,000 health this time as well. This time making it even further than normal all the way over here. Wow. Now we're officially 4 waves away from wave 300 though. And now we're only 3 waves away. And 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, for the first time ever this video, we made it to wave 300. Wow. Yeah, like I said though, now we're done commentating over all these small dirty ball blasts that spawn in, as well as every single medium-sized dirty ball that spawns in as well. Finally by wave 309 though, we have our next giant one reaching 375,000 health, and this will be the final giant dirty ball that we only commentate over forever now. And this time it died right over here, and nice, now we finally made it to wave 310, as well as wave 320 on the dot right then and there. On wave 323 though, we have our next giant one reaching 450,000 health. And this time it's going to make it even further than the last two. Wow, it's going to make it a lot further than the last two, all the way over this way this time. Dang. Yeah, I'm not so sure we're still going to be able to make it to wave 400. It's definitely going to be close whether or not we do, because yeah, it made it from all the way right here to all the way right here in just the span of one dirty bubble. Anyway, we still definitely have a long way to go until we do end up losing, since we're only 3 days away from wave 330 right now. But now we're only 2 days away from wave 340, or 330, sorry. And now we're only 1 wave away, and bang, now we made it to wave 330. On wave 337, we have our next giant dirty ball reaching over 500,000 health, and now we're 3 days away from wave 340. And this time it didn't even take damage until it got all the way right here this time where it died last time. Oh, hell nah. Yo, this time is gonna make it past this corner as well. Yo, we're so dead soon enough. No way we're gonna make it much past wave 400. Yeah, this time it died right here. And now we're 2 waves away from wave 340, 1 wave away, and bang, now we finally made it to wave 340, and finally wave 350. On wave 351 though, we have our next giant one with over 600,000 health this time, and it's not even going to take damage for even longer this time as well, all the way right here. Now it's spawning below 500, 400, 300, 200, 100, and yep, this one is going to die right this way. So yeah, not too much further than last time, but still some progress to say the least. And now we finally made it to wave 360, and this time on wave 365 we have another giant dirty ball about spawning, and this time with almost 780,000 health. Yeah, just like the last two, this one's not even gonna get slowed for even longer of a time, right over here this time around. And we even died last time, so it's over 500,000 health, but now it's down to 400,000, 300,000, 200, 100, and finally it's gonna die over here. Wow, that is crazy. Yeah, it's over like 2/3 of where the Dream Gary can even reach, so it won't even be slowed for too much longer at all anymore too. Now we're 3 days away from wave 370 though, and now we're only 2 waves away, and 1 wave away, and nice, just like that we finally made it to wave 370. Finally by wave 379 though, we have another giant dirty ball, and this time it did get slowed temporarily, but there's still so many big slow anchovies in the front that the main slow isn't even gonna happen until all the way where it died last time again. Yeah, still it's 800,000 all the way where it died last time, but now it's down to 600,000 and 500,000, 400,000, 300, 200, 100, and wow, just barely we got it right inside the Dream Gary range of it being slowed, so the next time it spawns in, it'll definitely not be slowed anymore. Anyway, now we finally made it past wave 380, as well as wave 390. Yeah, it's crazy that we're already 10 waves away from wave 400, bro. I didn't expect to make it to wave 400, but I think it's gonna be possible. We'll just barely make it to wave 400 with this unit, it's just not gonna make it much past that. Because yeah, by wave 393, we have our first giant dirty ball to reach over 1 million health on it. And yeah, this one's barely even gonna be slowed whatsoever. This time it's gonna take even longer to be slowed all the way until right here. And now we finally got it below 1,000,000 health, 500,000 health, and now it's outside the slow wind range as well. So now it's gonna be going max speed just like that. But luckily we should still be good to just barely get it, as this time it's gonna die all the way over here. Wow. It looks like somehow, someway, we are going to make it to wave 400 just barely for sure. I'm happy with that for sure, no doubt about it. In fact, yeah, now we're 5 waves away from wave 400, and now we're only 4 waves away. And 3 waves away, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang. Finally, last we somehow made it to wave 400. That is crazy. I didn't expect that at all. Yeah, getting wave 400 with a max limited unit is honestly insane, bro. This unit is somehow better than some of the seeker units, I'm pretty sure. I mean, considering it's doing around 240,000 damage a second fully maxed out, that is crazy strong. Finally, on wave 407 again, though, we have a next giant Thunder Bubble to reach over 1.3 million health. And I'm not gonna lie, this one might not even be slowed whatsoever. Okay, well, never mind. It's gonna get slowed all the way back here, as always, and now it's down to 1.3 million health, 1.2 million, 1.1 million, 1 million, 800k out of this range, 500k all the way over here, 300k on this stretch, 100,000 on this corner, and nice, just barely we are going to be able to get that one. That is definitely going to be the last one we get ever, though. Yeah, no shot we're ever able to get any more than that one right there. I think finally the next time the giant Dirty Bolt spawns in is when we'll finally start taking some damage. But yeah, it'll definitely spawn in past wave 410 since, yeah, we're already past wave 410 now, as well as wave 420. Finally, on wave 421, we have another giant Dirty Bolt reaching over 1.6 million health. Yeah, this one's literally not going to take an ounce of damage for the longest time ever. In fact, the first time it's actually starting to take damage is all the way back here, right around this spot. Dang. Yeah, this is 1,000,000% going to be the first one to get on by, and maybe even all these big slow enjoys will get on by too, since those still have 800,000 health each. And they're not going to be taking any damage either. Wait, I think we're literally dead on wave 421. Wait, no way. Yeah, look, this giant Dirty Bolt still 600,000 health, and that's going to get on by, and all these big slow enjoys still have 300,000 health. Wow, we literally lose on wave 420. That is crazy. Yeah, 420 waves beaten on the dot. That is insanely good just with this one limited alone. I'll 1,000,000% take that. But yeah, after every single game, we'll definitely have to have a leaderboard up on screen for how far each team got, and right now the Easter Bunny SpongeBob got to 420 waves beaten in first place. Next up on the list, though, it's definitely time to test out a fully maxed out Soaring Starfish, so like I said in the intro. So yeah, let's definitely unequip the Easter SpongeBob and type in Soaring Starfish right here, and yep, here's a fully maxed out Neptune's Crown version of it. And hopefully when maxed out, this one can even beat out the last one, but we'll find out right now on the exact same map. If the same rules follow, we'll be fully auto-skipping the entire time yet again, and we'll just max out both of our Krusty Krabs as quick as possible. So yeah, by wave 3 we have both placed, and by wave 5 this time we have both maxed. Yep, you know the drill though, it's definitely time to place on the Soaring Starfish, and wow, it actually covers the entire map. Nice. Wait, that's gonna be insanely good. Yeah, I guess we'll just place both over this way, like right over here, I guess, like that. Yeah, that way we can see both going in at once and kind of deploying like they are right now. That's gonna be super cool. In fact, already leveled is doing 7,600 damage every 0.6 seconds and a 64.4 range on it. Yeah, it may not do nearly as much damage, but it does cover the entire match, which might actually make up for the amount of damage it's missing. We'll see long term, but there it is, instantly maxed out. And when maxed out, it does 13,600 damage every 0.5 seconds and has 83.9 range on it, as you can see right here. Yeah, now it's just instantly maxed out the second one just like so, because yeah, we literally don't need to waste any time on it whatsoever. And yep, now we can just place the Dream Gary over this way like that, as well as the Barnacle Boy right here just to boost the cooldown on both of these guys. Yep, just like last time though, it's time to figure out exactly how much damage we're doing in a second. So yep, if we put another calculator just like last time, we do 13,600 divided by 0.4 because that's its cooldown. We do 34,000 damage a second with these guys. Times that by 2 because that's how many we have placed. We're doing roughly 68,000 damage a second. To be fair though, this one has over double the range, so technically we're doing around 130,000 damage if you think of it like that. So maybe, just maybe, we can beat out the old team. We'll see. I mean, we literally already have everything placed out and fully maxed out right now, which is super good for us. And we're basically spawn killing right now, which will make this round go even quicker than possible. But yeah, there goes our first small 30 bubble over this way on wave 33. As well as on wave 39, we have our next medium-sized one dying right here. Now we finally made it to wave 40 though, and actually on wave 43 is when our next giant 30 bubble spawns in. So yep, there it is right there, instantly dying right this way. Now we're officially through to waypoint 50 though, and actually on wave 48 we have our next small 30 bubble dying right here, but now we're 2 waves away from wave 50, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it there too. On wave 53, we have a medium-sized one dying over this way. And now we're through to wave 60, and we actually have our next medium-sized or giant dirty ball on this wave 2 dying right over here with 14,000 health. But now we're only 2 is away from wave 60, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it there too. On wave 62, we have a smaller one dying over this way somehow, so that's the new furthest an enemy has made it so far some way. And on wave 66, we have our next medium-sized one dying over this way too. Now we're 3 away from wave 70, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, now we made it there on the dot yet again. On wave 71 though, we have our next giant one dying right here. And on wave 76, we have our next smaller one dying over this way. Yep, you know the drill, we're 2 waves away from wave 80 now, 1 wave away, and bang, now we made it to wave 80. On wave 81, we have a medium-sized one dying over this way this time. And on wave 85, we have our next giant dirty bubble spawning on this wave as well. Yeah, this time it's set up over 10,000 health, and to be exact, as 20,000. Wow. Yeah, still dying instantly right here though. These guys do so much damage that they just instantly take out everything regardless. Yeah, they do not care whatsoever, and in fact now we're 30 away from wave 90, and now we're only 2 waves away, and 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally made it to wave 90. There goes our final small dirty ball that will be commentating over for this entire video. And this time we're 5 waves away from wave 100, and we have another medium one dying over here. But now we're officially 4 waves away, and 3 waves away, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and here comes our final giant dirty bubble before we make it to wave 200, this time making it all the way over this way. Just like that, we've officially made it to wave 100, and now I think I'm definitely done commentating over all these small dirty bubbles, like this one right here. And instead we're solely going to focus on every single time we're through to wave 110 or 120, etc. And every single time we have a medium-sized one like this one right here. And every single time we make it to wave 110. And finally, every single time we have a giant dirty ball like this one right here with 29,000 health, making it right here. So yeah, just like that, now we finally made it to wave 120 on the dot. And on wave 122, we have our next medium-sized one with 18,000 health, making it right here. Now we're finally through to wave 130, and we have our next giant one with 35,000 health dying right this way, but now we're 2 waves away from wave 130, and 1 wave away, and boom, nice. Now we made it to wave 130. On wave 137 though, now we're through to wave 140, and another medium-sized one died over here, but now we're 2 waves away from wave 140, and 1 wave away, and nice. Now we made it to wave 140. On wave 141, however, we have another giant one with 42,000 dying right this way. And on wave 151, we have a next medium-sized one dying over here. So yeah, we're already past wave 150 now too. And on wave 155, we have another giant one with 50,000 for the first time ever dying right this way. Yeah, so basically, as soon as it gets low with the Dream Gear, that's what happens. But now we're 3 waves away from wave 160, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally made it to wave 160 on the dot. On wave 165 though, we have another medium-sized one dying right here. And on wave 169, we have our next giant one with 60,000 dying right this way. Nice though, now we finally made it to wave 170 on the dot. And on wave 174, oh no, never mind, that's a smaller one, my bad. But on wave 170, now we have our next medium-sized one dying right here, and boom, now we made it to wave 180. On wave 183 though, we have our next medium-sized one, or giant one with 72,000, making it to this entrance over here. And boom, now we finally made it to wave 190. Yeah, now that we're officially 10 waves away from wave 200, we're getting insanely close to reaching halfway above the points to where the Easter Bunny and SpongeBob got to. But yeah, here comes our final medium-sized dirty bubble that will commentate over dying right here. And now we're officially 5 waves away from wave 200. And now we're only 4 waves away. And 3 waves away. And here comes our final giant dirty bubble before we make it to wave 200 with 87,000 health, making it slightly past Patrick's house this time right here. But now we're 2 waves away from wave 200, 1 wave away, and bang, somehow, someway, we made it to wave 200. Yeah, now I think I'm officially done commentating over all these small dirty bubbles that spawn in like this one right over here. As well as every single medium-sized dirty bubble that spawns in like that one right this way. But what we do still care about is every single time we make it to wave 210, and every single time the next giant dirty bubble spawns in on wave 211 this time. This time finally reaching over 100,000 health, this time finally dying all the way over this way right here. Now we finally made it to wave 220 though, but on wave 225 we have another giant one with 125,000 health this time, and it might actually make it to the intersection. Will it? Ooh, it will! No way, right here. Yeah, luckily now we're through to wave 230, meaning we're over halfway to the point of getting to the Easter Bunny SpongeBob, and now we're 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally made it there too. And finally on wave 239, we have our next giant dirty ball. We're reaching over 150,000 out. This time dying all the way over this way. And boom, now we finally made it to wave 240. As well as wave 250. Finally on wave 253, though, we have our next giant dirty ball reaching over 180,000 this time, making it extremely farther than last time, all the way right around here. Now we finally made it to wave 260, though. And on wave 267, we have our next giant dirty ball reaching over 200,000 and finally starting to take damage on this corner right here. And this time, this one's going to make it even slightly further than the last few, all the way right here. Yeah, now we're 3 days away from wave 270 though, and now we're only 2 waves away. And 1 wave away. And boom, now we finally made it to wave 270, as well as wave 280. On wave 281, we have another giant one with 260,000 out this time, and this one's not even getting slow until this corner over here. But finally, we got it below 250,000 out, 200,000, 100,000 over here, and this one was actually going to pass the intersection and die all the way outside it, all the way right here this time. Wow. Now we finally made it to wave 290 though, and yeah, here comes our final giant dirty ball boss before we make it to wave 300 on wave 295. So yeah, I guess I'll just see you guys in 3 waves now. So yeah, there it is with 295 or 300,000 health on it on wave 295. And this one's not even gonna get slowed into all the way right here. Yeah, thank God these guys have basically infinite range of car across the entire map, bro. This would have been really bad if that wasn't the case. Because yeah, this time this giant dirty ball is gonna make it all the way right over here this time. Wow. But now we're 5 waves away from wave 300, and now we're only 4 waves away, and 3 waves away, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, just like that, we finally made it to wave 300 now. And then on wave 309 though, we have another giant one with 375,000 on this time, and just like last time, it's actually gonna get slowed temporarily until those guys get past. But luckily, we got it down to its last 300,000 health, and now it's finally being slowed yet again. And now it's down to 200,000 health, and 100,000 all the way over here. And this time it's gonna die just outside the range of the slowing unit, the Dream Gary. And nice, now we made it to wave 310, as well as wave 320. Yeah, here comes the next giant one with 450,000 health this time, and this one's gonna make it even further since it's not gonna be slowed whatsoever. And this time it didn't even take an ounce of damage until it finally got all the way over this way. Yeah, luckily now we finally got it down to its last 400,000 health over here, 300,000 health over this way, 200,000 right before it gets outside the Dream Gary range, and now it's gonna be going max speed once again. And now it's down to 100,000 health. And this time we got slowed temporarily on this corner, and this time it's gonna die right over here. Wow. Yeah, luckily we just barely were able to take care of literally every single enemy that spawned on wave 323 this time around. Finally, by wave 337, we have another giant one, this time reaching 540,000 health. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit concerned that this one might actually be the first one to get on boss just because of how much more health it has than last time. I mean, it finally got below 500,000 health all the way over this way, and it still has over 400,000 once it's outside the range of the Dream Gary. But now we finally got it down to 300,000 health all the way over here, and now it's being slowed temporarily yet again, but now it's down to 200,000 health after it's stopped getting slowed. And now it's down to 100,000 over here. And wait, is it gonna get on by? Oh, it is. Now we're down to 65 health. And wait, I think we're literally just dead here on wave 337. Wait, no way. Wow, 336 waves beats him with the other limited unit. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that was actually a pretty fairly close battle. I'll take it. In fact, here's the final leaderboard. Now we have the Easter Bunny SpongeBob in first place with 420 waves beaten. In second place goes to the Soaring Starfish with 336 waves beaten. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton as always. And yeah, I'll try to upload tomorrow, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, everybody.